across the board, because it's a very common question. I probably need to answer it more complete than I can today. He says, do you care about a woman's body count for how many sexual partners she's had? I personally, it was not anything that I've ever really thought about. And I did not realize how important it is for a lot of men until I had been doing this for some time. Um, and that's just me. I've always been very prolific. So I never really, maybe it's self-centeredness, just never really thought too much about like what somebody else's sexual history would be. But this is what I found, and being in this world and realizing um, how important it actually is. So when you talk about like body count, it's every person or every man, he makes his own decisions on this. And I think a lot of it's like hardwired, kind of like you like black girls, or you like blondes, or you like redheads. There's something, there's something inherent and due to environment and upbringing and their experiences with women that they decide where they kind of fall. And it may be more important the younger you are. Because I would say like past 35, nobody really thinks about it that much. It just, at some point you're like, everybody has had a lot of sex. But again, the only research that I can back up that a lower number is a positive is there is some hard research that girls that either were a virgin or married the one man that they had sex with had better outcomes as far as longevity of marriage. And even just going to her spouse and another man really significantly lowered the longevity of the marriage. I've seen hard numbers for that, but that's the only thing. And again, this is one of those things that and I don't think it's a good idea to like try to persuade men that one thing is better, because a lot of it is like hardwired into them and due to their experience, their desires, what their risk tolerance. So there's a lot. It's probably no different than like finances. I mean, there's so many layers that you kind of have to like. All you can do is kind of like if they have certain questions, you need to find out where they're at, and that way you can, for lack of a better phrase, help them with risk tolerance. But it is a very individual decision. Some do care a lot, some are ambivalent, some don't care. It's the whole gamut, and it really comes down to that individual and where they're at. It may be important when they're younger, and then 20 years later, it's not that important. And that's how, if you're dealing with lots of people, you have to approach it, and you will approach it as you see fit. And as Barron says, care about how she treats you. That's correct.